Hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a new commentary on Soraka, and this is on patch 6.5 with the kind of reworked Soraka, and overall, I do think Soraka is much stronger than before. I think she's probably the best support right now, actually, but she does take a bit more skill to play. You're not kind of just brainlessly healing people, but instead you now have to take more like awareness of your positioning and aggressively queue in lane, which does kind of put you in pretty close danger as the enemy bot lane has a lot of CC. But in this matchup in particular, I don't think I'm in super big threat of dying because Bard doesn't really have guaranteed CC, and Bard relies a lot on poking, and I can kind of just heal his poke. So overall, this is a pretty good lane matchup for me. For runes and masteries, this game I'm trying out a lot of scaling runes because Soraka generally plays pretty passively, so I don't think you'll ever die in lane. So I figured scaling might be pretty good, so I'm running some like scaling armor reds, I think. Or no, I think it's flat armor. I forgot. But basically I'm running scaling armor, scaling CDR blues. That's kind of the only weird thing, and a fair amount of AP as well, because AP goes pretty well with Soraka for getting more health and stuff like that. I don't think health regen's that important on Soraka, especially now that your Q is healing you for a lot more than before. So I think you can get away with not taking health regen. Anyways, I'll slow this down a bit. In this lane matchup, you can see it's a Kalista Soraka versus a Jhin Bard. This level 1 is not that great for us. I'm not sure why the Kalista is playing so aggressively, because I don't think our level 1's as strong as theirs, because Jhin just does a lot. Jhin does a lot of damage right now. And you kind of see right here that if you look right now, Kalista's kind of really far up and trading pretty aggressively. And you should also note that there are a lot of creeps right now that are hitting Kalista, which is really not good right now. If I were the Kalista, I would just kind of back off right now, because right now you're taking about like 40 or 50 damage a second if you're continuing to attack them. But we kind of miscommunicated a bit because I wanted to back off. Kalista wanted to go forward. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should go heal her for a bit right now. But it's a level 1 heal, and her level 1 heal got nerfed pretty hard. So I can't really heal her for that much. I think now Kalista kind of realizes that she's dead. So, they're just gonna all in her to get Thunderlords off, and Jin's gonna be able to get a last fourth shot on her, and she dies. So that was kind of miscommunication on Kalista, thinking I have a lot of healing, and I guess also underestimating the Jhin and Bard damage level 1. But you can see now that the lane is pretty much like pushing towards us. I'm not really trying to go in for last hits. All I'm doing is kind of staying just within EXP range, so that way I don't die, because right now if I die, like, that's pretty bad for Kalista when she comes back. So I'm really just giving Jhin and Bard a lot of room to just farm up and respect like their catch potential. I'm not really going to try to take any more damage than I need to. If I can get some EXP or last hits before Kalista comes back, that's cool. Otherwise I'm just going to stand back. So I'm about to hit level 2. I think I do end up taking Q level 2. I think you should always take Q and W. You should W first and Q second, and then that way, once you're level 2, you can start just Qing them pretty aggressively. You can see that even though we both took some damage now, I landed a Q on the Bard, so I can heal up the Kalista, and now pretty much like nothing ever happened. It's pretty dumb now. Like, I would say you should always Q before you W, because you do get a lot more healing out of it. You get, right now my base healing is maybe like 90 with some AP, and then if I have the passive on me, I get about another 60 HP. So overall, like, you do heal for a lot more if you land your Q first and then W. So you can see here, like, in this trade in particular, I think the only important thing to note is that it's really important to recognize if the enemy is focusing the AD or you. Of course, I'm kind of watching my positioning against the Jhin because he can auto me for a fair amount, but you can see now that they're going to turn on the Kalista here, and once they turn on the Kalista, I'm making sure to just Q the Jhin and auto him as much as possible, and continuously healing the Kalista whenever I can. And that's how you really want to play out these fights. Like, if the enemies aren't hitting you, then you might as well get some autos off, some Qs off, in the middle of like healing your ally, right? You want to be as efficient as possible with trading. And your Q range is very long. Like, I know my Q range is about the same range as the Bard Q, so I know that if he ever tries to go for a Q, I can always Q him back, and then like, the trade is going pretty well for us overall. The lane is pushing up a little bit, but I'm not that concerned right now. I decided to ward this jungle here in case the Akali comes, but I really doubt Akali jungle is going to gank pre-6 because she can't really do anything. Regardless, just landing some more Qs. Usually, if the AD carry has some kind of wind-up animation for his spells, like this Jhin with his W, that's a really perfect time to throw a Q out because he can't move. keep that in mind. Like, some other AD carries have really long cast animations for things, like maybe a Caitlyn Q or something like that. You never know. Anyways, land another free Q, and then heal up the Callista. Rinse and repeat. Pretty basic stuff. You can see, like, just continuously, like, this Jhin is getting lower and lower HP, and now we can pretty much go for an all-in fairly soon, I think, because we're pretty high HP, and now their bot lane has to start to respect us more because they're pretty much all out of pots now. At least the Jhin is. Especially as a Callista Soraka lane, like, I guess even if you have, like, Callista as an AD carry, just autoing the enemy champions is really helpful, so that way Callista can proc her passive. It does a lot of damage. You should really abuse that if you're tap 2 ranged people. I think a lot of people don't really do that too often, and I think you should really abuse that, because that's, like, why this lane is so strong. Even though it's Soraka, even though I am Soraka and I should be passive, like, I'm pretty aggressive in this matchup. So you can see here, like, even now, like, there is a warder here, so I can see if Bard's going to try to Q me, and then I'm just kind of running aggressively to this Jhin. And here, like, I do see Jhin kind of make some misposition error, so I'm really going to throw out my silence right now. And now you can't flash out or heal because of the silence. You can't actually use summoner spells in that, and then we get a free kill on that because Callista pretty much executes him. So do keep in mind that if you think they're going to flash, you can just throw down the silence, and you can throw them off pretty hard. That was a pretty easy kill for us, and now we can just start shoving in the lane, and this lane is looking up for us, even though we got first blooded, so not too bad of a comeback. In terms of my items, I go ahead and upgrade to Nomad's Medallion immediately, and then I go for a Boots and a Pink Ward. The reason I go for this is because getting the Nomad's upgrade immediately is really beneficial. I think it's one of the best second tier upgrades you can get out of the gold generation items. So it does give me a lot of health regen, and it gives me a lot of mana regen, which is exactly what I need to continuously win this lane. And I also went for Boots to help me with some positioning errors. And then I got a Pink Ward just in case the Akali does start ganking us, because she is 6, and having the Pink Ward vision for her Shroud is pretty beneficial. Or if I just want this, like, brush control, I can always put the Pink there. But I feel like the Pink Ward's really important, a lot more important than getting a Sightstone. So here, I do get kind of chunked a little bit, but note I'm still kind of turning. Like, I throw the Silence Field on the Jhin, max range, just to keep him out, and now I know we're going to win this fight because the Callista is jumping on the Jhin here. But now I kind of realize that the Bard is turning on me, so I do have to kind of be a little bit careful. I said right here, I'm just going to flash, because I know the Ignite's ticking on me, and if I continue to stay, he's going to throw one more auto and I pretty much die. So I do have to run right here and just flash just to be extra safe. And now I know that Callista can finish off the Jhin, which is quite good. So at this point, I am really scared for the Callista because the Bard can kill the Callista if he does land a Q. So in this kind of situation, I do think it's really important to kind of consider your life as a support, because I know that one of us is probably going to die here, and I really don't want the Callista to die, because in this kind of situation, like, the Jhin is already dead, and if the Callista lives and I die, that's perfectly okay, because that way the Callista can continue farming and we can still build up a bigger lead. I don't really care if I die, because if the Callista can get, like, you know, 10 CS or so, it basically makes up for the death. So my mentality right now is that I don't really care if I die. Like, I'm thinking the Bard's going to keep focusing the Callista, so I'll try to heal her up right now. So that's why I'm just running up really aggressively. I land a Q right here before I go in for the heal, and the Bard actually tries to turn on me, which is a really smart play on the Bard. And he actually ends up missing his Q on me, which is really important, because if I got hit by the Q, I definitely would have died right here. And now, right before the auto hits me, I do exhaust him, and that ends up making me live that one auto attack. And now I'm just kind of running away with my passive and a potion healing at the same time. Like, I'm healing so fast right now, and Bard kind of, like, didn't expect that much healing, and he tries to go for one last auto, but that's not going to kill me, and we do end up getting another kill. So in a way, that was a bit lucky that I didn't get hit by the Bard Q right there. But at the same time, even if I did get hit by the Bard Q and I ended up dying, the Callista was not going to die because of that heal. So overall, I think it was okay for me to almost sacrifice myself to make sure the Callista stays alive, because we end up getting the double kill, and even if the Bard got a kill, Callista farming now is pretty important. So I do believe I ult here because I saw that the Zed was getting ganked, and yeah, let's actually look at this. So right now, I'm just kind of watching the Zed play this fight out. He is getting really low. He does a really nice job of dodging stuff, and right here, I go for the heal, right when a Hexdrinker pops as well. I perhaps could have waited a little bit longer because I also didn't really expect the Hex Drinker, but that's okay. Like I do end up like scaring the jungler away, and now like their gank pretty much failed, which gave us a pretty big lead because having their jungler fail a gank while our jungler came bot was a pretty big win for us. It's good to have that map awareness in general as Soraka. Like, you definitely do want to use your ult to try to save other lanes because that's how you're kind of indirectly ganking the lane for them. So now I'm going to work towards getting a Sightstone. I think now that I have 800 gold, I already have my second tier gold generation item. It's perfect time to get a Sightstone right now. So if we rewind this just a little bit, we do see that like the Jhin is by himself, and so because Jin's by himself and we are level 6, we can definitely start just kill him right now. So Kalista just begins to ult me now. She's gonna start leaping towards him, and now it's pretty much on me to land this Kalista ult. Land it pretty easily. Like, Jhin doesn't have flash or anything, so, or he does have flash, but like he doesn't bother to flash it, so that's cool. And then I just pretty much run up, keep on autoing him. Kalista's gonna flash also, and we get pretty much an easy secured kill. Now the Bard's here, so I'm gonna look to just keep healing up the Kalista, throw the Q on the Bard to slow him, get a little bit of healing myself, and now the Bard has to run as well because he's in a pretty bad spot. Unfortunately, we do just barely not kill him, and that kind of sucks because now GP ult, and Kalista's gonna die to GP, and now I'm pretty screwed also because now we see Akali's coming. Try to slow her with the Silence Field, but Corgi's also coming with the package, so I was pretty much dead regardless. I would say that, you know, perhaps it was maybe an overextension trying to go for the Bard, knowing that, like, there could very well be a GP ult, so I guess that's kind of our bad. But even trading 2 for 2, I think wouldn't have been that bad. We do end up forcing the Gangplank ult and the TP here, so we do buy a lot of space because of that play. So overall, I would say it's not that bad of a play. A little bit of an overextension, definitely, and we could have probably just played safer with just taking 1 kill. So hopefully this lane should be going back to normal now that the Gangplank left. I'm going to look to just place a ward in this bush just in case Akali might try to go inside here to go for a gank. Because realistically, the Akali can't really, you know, jump over walls or anything like that, right? So I would imagine if I were the Akali player, I might try to sneak into this lane bush here to try to gank us. So that's why I place a ward inside here. So that way if she's hiding in here, we know that she is. I also place a ward here in the tri-bush, and now we're pretty much set on not getting ganked for a while, so pretty nice for us. We can now focus on just kind of, once again, impressing a lot of lane pressure and beating them like that. You do see Jhin is by himself, but not really looking to dive him. Trying to land a Q just to poke him a little bit, but that doesn't end up working out. We do see the Bard is coming back now, so now we're kind of back to real standard lanes. Let's see what happens here. So it does seem like the Akali is walking down. Not really looking to aggress too much, just kind of, you know, doing a standard, like, you know, normal trading, nothing special. However, we do see now that, like, the Akali's running up, so now we're kind of just backing off. So I end up silencing here because I didn't actually see the Akali until she just started jumping in on the Kalista. I'm now focusing on healing the Kalista, now she ults me, and I do see the TP coming for us here. So at this point, I think we can turn because now that we know the Poppy's coming in, this is going to be a 3v3 trade. I also have a pink ward for me in case the Akali does go invisible. So I'm looking to try to ult the Akali right here because she's definitely the most important person to ult because she is the strongest one. However, I decided to back off a little bit, reposition myself, and now we decided to focus on the Bard, just for now because the Poppy went on the Bard. I think we could maybe focus on Akali, but once again, like, since the Poppy already went on the Bard, I also wanted to reposition myself. I think it's better to just get the free kill for now and then assess the situation immediately afterwards. I also see the Echoes coming here, so now I'm kind of running up towards them. We're going to try to collapse them under this turret now because the Echo can cut them off. It's going to be a 4v2, and we can definitely go for a couple more kills like this. So you can see Kalista shoving the lane right now. Poppy's also helping the shove. Echo's kind of just stalling here, trying to get some kills. I'm also looking at the Echo and seeing if he goes for the Jhin right here. And if he does, I can always ult, give the Echo the heal, and get a free assist like that. So I believe right when the Echo's about to get the kill, I do send out my ult right here. And that is going to allow me the kill on the Echo. And now we see here the Poppy ults the Akali as she goes invisible. So I know this is the perfect time to throw down the pink ward. So I do end up throwing the pink ward and a Q. But I think this is a really big misplay on my part, because by me throwing the Q right here, I actually end up taking the aggro, and I thought the Callisto would take the aggro first. So I end up taking, I think 2 turret shots right here, which is really bad, because now I'm really low. I silenced the Akali in case she was going to jump me, but I also throw another Q out here just to try to get a little bit of healing, but she ends up flash ulting me, and I end up dying. So that kind of sucks, because I guess I didn't really expect the flash, but at the same time, if I didn't tank the 2 turret shots, I wouldn't have died right there. So kind of just a big misplay on my part with tanking the turret aggro first. I probably shouldn't have just thrown the Q under the turret. I should have just put the pink ward down, and then would have gotten no deaths in this trade, but big misplay on my part, and I end up dying, but overall not the biggest deal in the world, because I guess I do end up getting the Akali flash. So now I had a lot of money, so I looked to upgrade to Eye of the Oasis, and I also got another Boot of Lucidity. I think in general, I personally like getting the Sightseeing upgrade on Eye of Oasis, specifically only on Soraka, and I also like getting the Eye of the Equinox for the Targan champions, just because I like having a lot more vision when I play the game. I know some people do like having the Talisman. I don't think Talisman is a bad item by any means. I just think that I liked having the vision more. Anyways, before I talk a little bit more about my itemization, I do see the Zed is fighting here. So I try to run up here to help out the Zed, because I thought we were going to keep fighting. My thinking was that if we kill the Corki right here, we can just turn on the Bard. And I actually don't think I saw the Akali until just now. So now I kind of realize that I'm in kind of a bad spot, because like, I realize now the Zed's backing off, so I'm like kind of screwed right now. So I'm going to flash over the wall right here just to get out. I'm hoping the Akali doesn't follow me, but she doesn't have sight of me, so she couldn't ult and follow me. But I do land a Q right here in the Bard, and that was really important because this Q gave me health regen and movement speed. So now I know I can sidestep this Bard Q right here, and now I can run away pretty easily because I'm running like at 437 movement speed right now. So there's no way this Bard can catch up to me. There's like absolute no way. So that's really important you land a Q there for the movement speed in case you need to run away in that kind of situation. I did have to use Flash. Probably shouldn't have needed to use it if I watched my positioning a little bit more, saw the Akali sooner, and just kind of walked away this way. Anyways, I'm using Q really liberally right now because I don't want to really face check too much. The Q's on like a 4-second cooldown, remember, and it also reveals anything inside a bush. So use it very liberally to face check things. Like it's super, super good. Like, so I pretty much checked there was a pink ward in here, so and in case someone was standing here, I didn't have to face check that. And if someone was standing here, I would land the Q on them, and then I can run away with the passive. So very, very often you should use your Q to check bushes. That's really important now on Soraka. Anyways, the Callisto does get stunned right here, so I threw a Q to heal her. And now we're kind of just fighting. I do throw the Silence Field for the Corki, and he gets stunned, so he pretty much can't run away. Exhaust him for good measure, I guess. Probably a little bit unnecessary, but oh well. Anyways, now we are pushing the lane right here. I believe I end up ulting because I think the Poppy and Echo are just kind of like diving like crazy now. And once again, free assists are really good on supports in general. And Soraka does give you that free assist by healing your ally before they get a kill. So I do end up healing, I think a little bit too late. I don't know if my ult was on cooldown or anything. I think, oh yeah, it was on cooldown. So I definitely would have ulted a lot sooner if I had the opportunity to, but it was still on cooldown and it just came back up after they got the kill, so a little bit unlucky on my part. I was maybe like half a second off. Anyways, like I'm kind of focusing on taking this mid turret with Callisto because I do think that turret's a lot more important than just diving on people in their base. So now that we took down the turret, I'm going to try to help my team. Unfortunately, the Echo dies, but I'm going to try to heal this Poppy up, like, you know, throw some heal, throw some silences, but unfortunately the Gangplank does shoot a Q, so she ends up dying. A little bit unlucky, I guess. I don't think I could have gotten there sooner enough because I was kind of focusing on taking this turret with Callista. I guess you could argue that I didn't need to stay here, but at the same time, like, I didn't really want to dive them. That's okay. Anyways, I ended up recalling here because I was all out of vision and everything, don't really have much else. And then now I'm looking towards building a Crucible, I think. I believe this is for Crucible, and I think the reason why I was going for a Crucible here was simply because the only way we really lose if someone gets caught with something like a Jin W, like a snare or something like that. And so to help them with that, like, I can always just use the Crucible to get them out of it, because I really think we're far ahead this game. And I also really wanted some mana regen, because I was noticing that I was spamming Q and W a lot more than usual than I'm used to on playing Soraka, and I felt really low on mana a lot, so I thought I really needed some more mana regen. Anyways, putting out some more vision for us. I guess right now, like, since we are a bit ahead right now and we are starting to push in all our lanes, I know the Poppy's most likely going to start splitting up top right here, so decided putting a ward right here might be good in case we do see some rotations between the lanes right here. If I was a little bit more adventurous, I would put a ward here, because having this ward here and this ward here pretty much covers this entire rotation spot from top to mid. But I'm not feeling that adventurous. I'd rather just stay next to the Kalista, play a little bit safe, because I don't want to get caught out. Anyways, I do see the Echo wants to go in, so I don't want to tank the turret, so I'm just gonna kind of wait it out a little bit, run really slowly up to go for a heal on the Echo just in case. I silenced a little bit too late, just in case the Corki wanted to like do something funny. But the Echo does end up flashing here. I thought he was gonna die, so I end up ulting also, just for good measure. I don't think it hurts to be that safe, because our Echo is like a pretty important person to have on our team that's alive, because he is a bit tanky and he does a lot of damage. Anyways, here I do see, if I rewind a little bit, I'll leave him running down here because someone saw there was an Akali here. Let me see what exactly happened. I think it was Echo? Oh yeah. So the Akali just shows up in this bush, and now I'm like, oh crap, I have to help this guy. So I do end up silencing right here. I also, do I end up putting the pink ward here? It might not be me putting that in a pink ward here. I think it might be someone else on my team, because a lot of people on my team have a pink ward. But yeah, no, it wasn't me. I think it was the Echo or Kalista. They ended up putting a pink ward here to end up seeing the Akali. I probably should have put the pink ward way earlier. That was kind of my bad. But here, if we rewind this a little bit, let's see. Right after we killed this Akali here, now we're looking to push mid. The Gangplank does get a really nice barrel off on 3 of us, so now we're really low. And there's a GP ult, so now, after I land a key here, I'm just running for my life. And I also do see the Jin ults now. So this is kind of awkward because both Kalista and I are really low, but once again, I have to kind of remember that, you know, I'm the support. If I die, it's not that big of a deal, so I'm kind of looking more to heal the Kalista to make sure she doesn't die. And it's also important right now that we both spread out. So Kalista is really nice and actually ults me, because I was going to get hit by one. If I get hit by one bullet, I die. But now I do see Kalista is starting to get hit by the bullets here. So I know that if she does get hit by the last bullet, she's going to die. So I actually get out of the Kalista ult immediately, heal her, and then just run off in this direction because, like, the Jin doesn't have vision of me. But Jin ends up not shooting out his last bullet, or maybe it hit the Poppy or something. So that ended up being a close call. But if the last bullet did end up shooting towards Kalista, it was really important for me to get out of the Kalista ult and then heal her so that way she can live through it. I'm not even sure if she could have lived through it because Jin ult does do a lot of damage, but I mean, Jin's not that strong right now, so maybe she could have lived. I'm not sure. Anyways, let's go back a little bit. So after this whole like Jin ult like craziness thing, I am very low in HP, and I also do see that this Echo is also very low. So I'm kind of looking right now to distract this Gangplank and maybe help out my Echo a little bit. I now see that the Echo is getting away for free, so I'm going to try to cut off this Gangplank's escape path right now. I go for a really aggressive silence. I do end up canceling his, I believe he was using the animation for his Q, but ended up not getting it off because he was silenced. I threw another Q off to hit the Gangplank in case he kept chasing me, but turns out he was just waiting in the bush for the Kalista and ends up getting a kill on the Kalista, so a little bit my bad, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to heal up this Echo because I know he wants to keep fighting, and now I'm pretty much, like, out of health, so I'm not really going to stay, like, super far into the fight. Like, I might just get some vision out and just clear out some wards since I know I'm not really going to participate anymore, but my team just goes ham once again. I'm going to see if I can maybe try to distract him, like throw a Q, maybe throw a silence, maybe get some attention away from the Poppy, but she ends up dying, and now I'm in kind of a bad spot, but my snare ends up hitting the Jin. Now I'm just running for my life, put a ward down just to see where he's walking, and I'm just going to keep walking straight ahead and just getting the hell out of there. So that was a bit risky for me to go back in, but once again, like, if they're not really focusing me or they don't know where I am, I can always do things behind the scenes. Like, even just getting like a couple wards down in the jungle is not even a bad idea before you recall. Anyways, do end up finishing the Crucible. I also ended up getting a alacrity upgrade on my boots. I just figured, like, you know, running fast might be good on Soraka. I do already walk pretty fast away, so I thought it might be good to just have more movement speed. Probably not the best buy, but I don't think I had enough money for a Crucible, so I didn't really know what to do with my money. Anyways, I do see the Zed here, so I end up ulting the Zed, healing him. I also ended up getting the Bard ult. So here I am Bard ulted, and I do see people are coming, but kind of looking at the positioning of my team, like, I know Zed's a little low, right? So he can't help me. Kalista's here in case she needs to ult me, and the Poppy is teleporting right here. So I know I'm really okay with, like, not needing to flash or anything like that. Like, I see Jin's ulting here, so that's even a little bit more scary, but once again, I think the Jin's trying to kill the Zed, not me. So I'm not really that afraid. I'm gonna just kind of stand my ground in silence and just kind of, like, sit here. Really just kind of distracting them for a bit, because now the Poppy's gonna come in from behind. Focus straight on the Jhin. I'm gonna like try to get a Q on the Jhin, but he ends up like going the portal, getting out. And now I'm just gonna stay a little bit far back now, because once again, I'm really low on HP. My positioning has to be really perfect this fight, or else like I'm just gonna get hit by Corki. So I know the Corki just saw me right there, which is why I immediately show myself and then back off. And now the Corki kind of just wastes some time chasing me instead of going on the Poppy. That W was really scary. I really got the Jhin die before like that connected on me. So I would have taken much less damage. Now, the Corki ends up getting caught a little bit from being distracted, so he ends up dying. And then now the Kalista is fighting the Gangplank here. I do get Kalista ulted, but, like, I completely missed. The Gangplank does a really nice juke right here. But here, I'm just going to go for the silence and then go for another Q. The Gangplank can't really kill me. He does end up shooting a Q, which does a lot more than I expected. But I think unless he got a crit off, like, I would have died. But I probably should have backed off just a little bit in case he did get the crit off. Anyways, you do ace them, so now we're just kind of pushing forward more. This should be a free turret for us in the next creep wave. I'm looking to get a ward over here just in case the Echo backs off. And now we pretty much have complete vision of their base in case the Akali like wants to jump in on me. We do see Akali here. She does Shroud right now, and I know I'm really scared because I know she's probably going to go for me. Like, it's pretty obvious. So I'm kind of backing off right now. I end up throwing a silence field directly on me before she even jumps on me, if you notice that. Because I know that once she jumps on me, she's going to look to E. And as long as she doesn't get the E off, I know I can't die. So now she's kind of just sitting here, and now she knows she has to retreat because she doesn't have another... she can't, like, hit me. She does a really nice flash here. Flashes over the wall and then ults me, and then I die. So that was kind of my bad for walking immediately to the right here. I probably could have just flashed downward here, anticipating her flashing over, but I really didn't anticipate that. So that was just a well-played flash by the Akali. I ended up dying, so not the biggest deal in the world because we do end up trading 1-for-1. I guess that's not the worst thing ever. I don't know why this Echo's diving. This guy's crazy. But, yeah, my team is just, like, doing a lot of crazy things right now. I don't know why the Poppy's there. She ends up dying, but overall, a little bit of a misplay, I would say. I probably could have definitely avoided the death right there if I flashed down this way, or kind of walked downward, not directly to the right. Anyways, I do end up finishing Crucible now. And now I'm just kind of gonna run around and just maybe help this Kalista do the dragon, because she does seem a little bit low. Don't really have a whole lot to do right now, but I see the Gangplank killed my Echo. I was just gonna get vision more in their jungle, since we're probably gonna stay around this mid to bot area to keep on pushing, so figure some boards there is always helpful. Anyways, I see Zed just kind of fighting up here. I start to run up here with Poppy, but he's kind of dead already, so now I'm just like, I don't really know what to do anymore, so I'm just gonna follow this Poppy around. Maybe get the vision around this side in case we want to do Baron. I do end up seeing there's a pink ward in here, so I drop my pink kind of like as a good spot here, because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't really check this bush for a pink ward if I were blue side. Like, I think an enemy team having a pink ward here is kind of weird. So I end up pinking here, but they have a pink here, so that was kind of awkward because it's going to kill it. Oh well. I have no more words, so I'm just going to go back and recall right now. There's nothing for me to do now that Zed is dead. Place my last ward on Baron just in case they were going to sneak it if Zed was going to die. You know, you can never be too safe, I guess. Anyways, I do see my team wants to kind of fight in this area. Not sure why. We don't have the Zed right here, but I guess we can fight 45 if we really want. Now, I do see the Echo really wants to flank, so I'm going to stay next to the Kalista here in case she gets caught somehow by the Bard ult or something like that. You can see now Echo's starting to move up here. So now I'm kind of looking up to also move up as well. Step back just a little bit to dodge the gangplank barrel. I barely just not get hit, and I also get the Q off on the gangplank, so I do run a little bit faster. And now you can see that Echo got the flank off right now. So that's a really nice W. He ended up getting 3 people, I believe, and now I do get Callista ulted. So this is just like the juiciest setup for me, because now we can just go in for the Callista ult, get a 4-man knockup immediately into a silence field, and that's just so strong, because now, like, even after the knockup's over, like, they can't do anything right now. So now there's a Poppy ult, and then, like, everyone pretty much just dies. I place my pink ward down to see the Akali, and now we see the Akali, I exhaust her, and now she's also dead. So that was a pretty clean ace. Easily the game for us. So overall, I think this was a very short game, but really the only game I could get very recently of Soraka because she's banned so much. So once again, overall, I think Soraka is just a really strong character right now. I think that, once again, positioning is very key. Like, you can see a lot of times because of very slight positioning errors, I died pretty easily. And especially when you're hovering at such low HP, you definitely don't want to get within, like, even auto attack range or a spell range of people. But you also want to stay slightly in range to throw Qs off, to throw silences off. So it's really all about, like, kind of having really fast movement and fast fingers and kind of just dodging things. And really trying to, like, maximize your effectiveness, even though you might be really low on HP as Soraka. I'll try to post more videos of playing against Soraka, because I know some people do have trouble against that. But for now, hope you guys got a little bit more insight into this new Soraka. Definitely go try her out if you're, like, interested in getting, like, Freelo, I guess, because I think new Soraka is super, super strong. So yeah, pretty much it.